Hello everybody, this is Les with a new kind of video from me. I'm going to do some favorites here and there. I'll sprinkle them in between my other videos. And what you're seeing before you now is one of my favorite figures. It is the X-Plus GODZILLA 1993. And there's a lot of reasons that I love this figure. Not just because he's absolutely awesome, and he's very, very large. He's probably at 12 inch or a little over. He is a big, big boy, and he is cool. And I have been in love with the 93 Godzilla since seeing the movie years and years ago with a good buddy of mine that's also a Godzilla fan, big friend. We watched several of the Heisei movies before I even knew they existed. I'd been a Showa Godzilla fan for years, and of course still have quite a few favorites in that category, as most people do. I mean, Godzilla fans, we're a diverse taste group, and everybody has maybe a type or a preference Godzilla. I mean, I like to think that we do. Some people are probably pretty open to variations. Some people like the new stuff. They like the Shin Godzilla, you know. What a tail this guy's got. Yeah, I love that. Look at the feet. And yes, if you do notice, I have repainted this guy. There's a little bit of dirt and mud. I mixed what I call a concrete color. It's kind of a warm gray. And I did repaint all of the back plates. These are all hand painted, repainted, and realigned. When I got the figure, they were not. They were kind of splayed out and random. And weirdly, and I'm not sure why they did this, because this is not a Sakai sculpt, this particular figure. Sakai would have made sure. But some of the back plates were upside down. Like they were actually flipped. And if you look at the photos of the real guy, and I'm a real stickler about this, the actual Godzilla costume, you can see, and there's all kind of reference books and things, you can see that these are the right shape. But like this guy here was turned that way, and you couldn't really see these 2 points, and this one was flipped. And so I went in there and cut them loose and flipped the ones that needed to be flipped and painted them. So this is as accurate as I can get. I know there's probably a shock to a lot of people that are big fans of X-Plus and that have this figure to hear the notion that some of these backplates are not right, but they are not right if you have it unaltered. That means also that probably the light up version, the newer Rick one that they've done, has upside down backplates. And the reason I didn't get it is I don't want to go through all that again, even for a lit version. But I'm pretty happy with my paint job. I think he looks good, and I've dirtied him, and I've added I add lighter shades in there and dirt in the hands, redo the claws. The toes are dirty and grimy and covered in asphalt dust and whatnot because he's walking through things. And also, the biggest change, of course, if you can see right there in the photograph, I closed his mouth. The original version has an open mouth, and I just didn't want him roaring all the time. I'm sorry, I'm just like that. I like my Godzillas, I like the profile with a closed mouth. And I think, by the way, this one has a particularly cool profile. And I love the eyes. He's got very expressive, large eyes, which are okay to me. I mean, I love this model, this figure. I'm not sure who the sculptor was. I give them all kind of points, because usually Sakai is the most accurate sculptor out there, and we know that. He's legendary. And if you want to see what I mean by that, I'm going to do a little comparison here. I've got an older, this is a Kyoto Sakai sculpt. Came from the 80s or 90s. I'm not sure when they produced it first. And it's a smaller scale. This is an 8-inch figure, where this guy's fully 12. And the reason I still prefer the X-Plus is just the sheer girth of the thing, the mass of it, and he looks pretty darn good. I'm not that upset with inaccuracies physically. You can see some of the variation maybe here. You know, that's an early Sakai sculpt versus the X-Plus. And Sakai always gets the backplates right. You know, and he also gets the taper of the tail and all that. This is, like I say, a Kyoto kit that I assembled. Closed the mouth on it also. Just sorry, I gotta have that closed mouth look. I just prefer it that way. But that way you can see there's Sakai's work, and I think he's got a newer one that's got a tail off the ground that he's probably gonna have done as a X-Plus figure. Real quick shout out here to little one, Baby Godzilla. That's sort of what he was supposed to grow from. Love Baby Godzilla. No, they're not in scale. This thing would be about the size of Godzilla's toenail if it were in scale, and so you know, hey, I work with that. But I did repaint. This is just a Bandai toy. But I do love the little figure, and I love this little, it's my favorite of the small Godzillas. Better than Minya or Godzilla Jr. or, Lord forbid, Little Godzilla from Space Godzilla. That one's not a favorite. But here you go, one of my absolute favorite Godzillas, one of my favorite figures, and I hope for you a pleasant viewing experience. And yes, I love repainting Godzillas. It's one of my absolutely favorite things on earth to do. I've probably repainted 50 or 60 or 70 by now. So this is just one more. And I do have a rather extensive collection, so one day you'll see all that. But not today. This is 93's day. Say bye, 93. Hope you enjoyed it.